Hello everyone. I figured I'd post a quick update while I'm sitting in the car in between appointments at the cancer center today. So for those who don't know, my name is Michelle and I started this YouTube channel to document my journey with stage 3 triple negative breast cancer and adrenal insufficiency, as well as some diet, spiritual connection, and whatever else I might find interesting. Hope you find this helpful. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you do. So in my last video, I posted that we were going from a 14-day cycle to, or a 14-day regimen to a 7-day regimen. It's for the oral chemo Xeloda or capecitabine. And so I've had one 7-day cycle so far, and I still found that I had some side effects. And what I found last week was that we went camping and I was having a really hard time kind of just keeping up with myself or what I think I should be able to do. So about a month ago, we were in Florida. It was hot and humid and I was able to walk, maybe 5 miles a day. Last week, I was not able to walk all that far at all. I was able to walk several hundred feet, and then I would need to take a break. I would need to go into air conditioning, or I would need to sit down because I felt like I couldn't take a deep breath. So that was an issue that I felt was not good. And then a few days into our trip, my ankles swelled up, and I do have the lymphedema in my arm where I had the axillary dissection, which I'm still dealing with, and I still have that video I need to edit on lymphedema. But my ankle swelled, and one ankle actually looked a little bit larger than the other, and that kind of made me nervous. So I messaged my oncologist and asked if that was potentially, I know that feet swelling and ankle swelling and swelling in general is a side effect of Xeloda. But I just asked basically, do I need to be urgently concerned with this? And they did recommend that I go and just get checked out to make sure that I didn't have any blood clots in my legs or anything in my lungs. So I did actually go on our camping trip to a local ER and had ultrasounds of both legs and a CT scan of my chest with contrast. What they found was that I had what they referred to as, quote, a spot on my left lung that looks like it could be pneumonia. So they put me on antibiotics, and 2 different kinds of antibiotics, strong ones too, Augmentin and Zithromax, which are both pretty strong medications, and told me to take those and then follow up with my oncologist. So here I am today. I have an appointment today to follow up with my oncologist. This ER was actually very good. I cannot complain. It's not a highly rated emergency department at all, but I had a decent experience. I was in and out in about 4.5 hours, and the longest part of that wait was waiting for them to interpret the results. I got into triage very quickly. I got in for the imaging very quickly, and they came and, we had to wait for them to come and tell us what the imaging showed. And then we had to wait for them to burn a CD, and they did this on their own. We didn't even have to ask, where they burned all of my images onto a CD so I could bring it to my own clinic, which is fabulous. So I cannot complain at all about the emergency room experience. It was definitely one of the better ones as far as emergency rooms go. And again, they just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, imminently in danger, and I wasn't. There weren't any blood clots found. It was just this spot of potentially fluid on my lung. And so I've been taking the antibiotics. And then because I'm taking antibiotics, I have changed up my supplements a little bit. I added digestive enzymes and probiotics back in. And I'm just kind of eating things that are easy to digest, because certainly with that level of antibiotics is a GI concern, at least for a few days. I'm good now. Everything is kind of regulated. The Zithromax is done. I'm still on Augmentin for a few more days, but we're getting through that, and we'll see what they say today as far as that goes. Other than that, that was my excitement for the week. The side effects that I was experiencing, besides the not really being able to walk very far, I still have lymphedema. Vision issues are becoming more prevalent, I think. So by the second or third day of the Xeloda, and it kind of carries over even into the week off, I have blurry vision in my right eye. And it's like some days my glasses prescription is perfect, and other days it's like it doesn't matter if I'm wearing glasses or not wearing glasses, nothing is clear. And I think that is either, I think it's the Xeloda, because it seems to be worse when I'm taking it. So we'll see what they say about that. Fatigue, really low stamina, and headaches. So I have headaches on my week on Xeloda, definitely like 3 or 4 days of the week, whereas on the week off, I don't really experience headaches all that often. So, so that is an issue, and that's pretty much it. The feet burning and the, my hands, kind of being sensitive to the touch. And then the other kind of interesting side effect from Xeloda this week. So they have that hand and foot syndrome that they call, where you can just kind of get peeling or sores on your hands and your feet. I did have a couple of spots, one on my hand and one on my foot, that just kind of got a little sore that split open. They weren't on the bottoms though. It wasn't on my fingertips. It was on this side, which is, it's actually under this tape, right? This tape is on for lymphedema. And then I have one on my foot as well, which is just a kind of a spot on the top of my foot. On the bottoms of my feet, they burn. They do peel a little bit. It feels like I'm walking kind of on hot pavement, like frequently, and not all the time, but frequently. And then they will crack much more easily than normal. So that's kind of the hand and foot thing. I also had something similar happened in my mouth with this last cycle. So I had was just kind of sitting there doing nothing. I wasn't eating anything. I wasn't drinking anything. I was just kind of sitting there, and all of a sudden I felt like the pop in my gums, kind of on the inside of my gums, on the roof of my mouth, sort of on the side. And it had split open. So that was fun. And mouth sores are also a side effect of Xeloda. So it only lasted a few days. I gargled with salt water with baking soda and salt in it, and it felt better almost immediately with the gargle. And then by maybe 2 or 3 days later, it was completely healed. So so that's Xeloda side effect update. Here's my hair growth. So my last chemo was December 26th. Today is August 7th. I think it's August 7th, 8th, something like that. So this is my hair growth. It is still not long enough to really do anything with it. All I do is when I get up in the morning, I wet it and just kind of do that. And so it looks like Guy Fieri. And that's it. Lymphedema is something, again, I want to make a whole video on lymphedema, but just so you know, I have some swelling in that hand, and you can't really tell there. I do have some pictures that when I do the actual video, you can kind of tell they're little sausage fingers here. So I've been doing lymphatic drainage massage. I've been going to physical therapy. It does help. It hasn't gotten worse, but it is still there. I did get a sleeve with a gauntlet on it to wear, like a compression sleeve, but it makes me super nauseous. So I don't wear it because then I have to updose my steroids, and then that causes kind of some more swelling, and then it just kind of is this circle. So because of the adrenal insufficiency. I think that makes the lymphedema more of a challenge. So that's kind of why the video isn't posted, because we're still kind of trying to find what works. So today, the physical therapist has put this kind of I don't know how to say it, kinesis tape on my arm to try and encourage that lymphatic drainage with a little bit of pressure that's not compression all the way around my arm, all the way up my arm. And so hopefully this will not, and it's so far so good. It's been about an hour it's been on, and I'm not nauseous. So that's awesome, because then there's something then that I could use. As long as I don't react to the adhesive, then we should be good with this as a strategy. So that's pretty much it. So that's my 10-minute update. I've got another half hour or so before I go in to check in for my appointment with the oncologist team, and we'll go from there. And they've already actually updated my appointments where I'm coming back here. I was supposed to be here today and then in 2 weeks, and they called me this morning and changed my 2-week appointment to next week. So I have a suspicion that they're probably going to order a repeat imaging of my lungs to see if the antibiotics cleared up that spot of possible fluid or pneumonia. Not really sure where that came from. I didn't really have a cough. I just would have trouble taking a deep breath when I had exertion. So I had a little cough. And when we were in Florida, so a month ago, I had a cough, and it's kind of been lingering, coming and going, but it's more of a tickle in my throat. It wasn't something that I felt in my lungs or my chest at all. So we'll see what they say about that, and I'll see you next time. Everybody have a great day. It's not beautiful out at all. We're half the country's in a tropical storm. Half the country. Half the coast is in a tropical storm, and we're getting lots of rain here in the Northeast as well. So stay dry.